Which one?
Oh.
There we go. Okay. Recording to the, all right, now I gotta get back to my other screen. Okay. Let's see, waiting room. Okay, so we're gonna get started, everybody, because it's a little after 9, and obviously we want to be cognizant of everybody's time on a Monday morning. I'm just gonna take a little, a couple minutes here just to introduce what we're doing here. This is our first Monday morning mastermind at the Collaboration Cafe. My name is Karen Vomero, and I'm gonna be your moderator for today. You know, John Rakowski and I started the Collaboration Cafe when we joined forces about a year ago. And, you know, our whole goal here is to get agents to look at their real estate business, help them, you know, between the two of us, you know, we have 50+ years experience in the industry. And this is our way of giving back, sharing, collaborating. So we created this space, and we hope you enjoy it. And all your opinions are welcome. Your topics that you feel relevant. For today, I chose lead generation as the topic for us to start with. And kind of how it's going to work is I'll do a little intro here on my slideshow. And then we'll open it up for discussion. John, you want to introduce yourself and a little couple comments?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Karen. And thanks for all those who are joining us this morning, and share with your friends and colleagues. Okay. Look, we can all learn more from others. We don't have all the answers, but we're looking to share what we've gained over, you know, my experience and Karen's experience. Karen, from a producing level, me as a broker for 17 years. And when I look back at my career, I found the most fulfilling in helping realtors, especially the newbies, get that first transaction done, or overcoming an objection, to think outside the box, to you know, get a transaction done legally, ethically, professionally. So that's what that's where I find my, you know, that's my why. Okay, and experience matters, and I think that's why we want to align with people that have been there, done that, and help others grow their business. So I'm thrilled that we are doing this. I think we've been wanting to do this for a long time, and it just takes time, as you know, because, you know, we're still busy trying to run our real estate careers as well. So Karen, I'm thrilled to be partnered with you, and go for it.
Thanks. I'm trying to, hold on, I got a couple of people admitted here. So if you're just joining us, thank you and welcome to the Collaboration Cafe, a place where realtors will share, discuss topics, solve problems, and help each other grow our business. So for today, here are our guidelines. You know, we truly appreciate your participation. We know that you're busy, and these collaborations will be recorded so that we can share them on our Facebook group, Collaboration Cafe. If you are not part of the Collaboration Cafe Facebook group, please reach out to John or I, or request an invite in Facebook under Collaboration Cafe. We're going to be open it up for discussion. When we do open for discussion, because there's so many people on here, with the Zoom, just, you know, raise your hand and then we will get to you. Okay. Always check with your broker, manager, team leader for any on your brokerage's stance on legal matters. We are not here to give legal advice or opinions.
Karen, is there?
So that said, yes.
Anybody in the waiting room?
Let me double check. Whoops. I don't think so.
Okay. Jessica.
Sorry. I don't see anyone in the waiting room.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. And next time what we'll do is we'll share the posting duties so you can let them in. So today's topic, you know, I figured it's, you know, we're all out there trying to compete for business and get deals done. So the topic that I chose for today are, what are your lead pillars? What lead pillars are working for you? And if you don't know what a lead pillar is, then this is going to be a good intro course for you. Because if you're not continually prospecting every single day, where's your business coming 2 months down the road, 5 months down the road, next year? You know, I've worked with people for maybe a year in advance before they sold their home or purchased a property or referred me business. So these are your lead pillars. And feel free to, you know, if I'm missing something, this is what this is all about. We'll discuss it later, and maybe there's something that I'm missing as far as a lead pillar. But for me, referrals, people that are referring you business personally. So your sphere of influence, your past customers, vendors, such as a lawn care person. Think of the people that you use on a regular basis. You should be asking them for business or reaching out to them. Partners, what I mean by partners, divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, title companies, lenders. Those are partners that you share and give business to. I give you business, you give me business. If you're referral partners, if you're partners that you're utilizing, such as your title, your lender, things like that are not referring you business, then you might want to check with them if you're referring them things. Then of course, social media. I know a lot of people don't like social media, but let's face it. I've heard so many times that, recently, I just got in the real estate business. I never really had to do social media. Now I'm struggling with it, or I'm learning with it. So we're going to discuss, the social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. What's working for you? What's not working? What's working in one part of the country may not work in a different part of the country. So that's what we'll discuss also. In person, belly to belly, in my opinion, is really the best way to try and get business and build your database. These things that we're talking about today, if you're not adding 5 people to your database a day, then you need to go figure out how to do that. Your database is going to be where you're getting your business. Whether if you don't have a database or a CRM, then let's try and discuss that, or we can have that as one of our topics also. But as far as in person, open house, host an event such as, I don't know, like in your community. Maybe you want to host an ice cream social or a pie giveaway, things like that. Door knocking. I know Crystal has been very good at door knocking. That is not one thing that's in my wheelhouse. So again, when we're discussing these lead pillars, these are things that, you have to figure out what your personality is going to do. If you've tried it and it's not working for you and you're not going to do it, then try and figure out what lead pillar is working for you. Networking groups. I know a lot of people love the networking groups, and you're obligated to refer business. If you're new starting out, maybe this is something, or if you're new to an area, maybe this is something that you want to look into. Community events, attend the events that are happening in your community, post them on your YouTube, things like that. Internet. Obviously, these are like the paid sponsored ads, sponsored posts, Facebook ads, Google ads, blogs. This is probably a little more technical. So all of these referral sources, or lead pillar sources that we're talking about today, we can go down a rabbit hole on every single one of them and probably utilize a whole mastermind class. So this is just, what we're going to do today is just kind of start with hold on, I gotta admit someone here. We're gonna start with these things and kind of discuss them, and then as we move into these masterminds week after week, we can take a deep dive into them. Okay. Others, cold calling. We've got some really excellent scripts on cold calling. ISA, if you don't know the ISA or VAs, it's an inside sales associate, someone that makes calls on your behalf to get you appointments. VA, a virtual assistant. There's a lot of people that are successfully utilizing virtual assistants. Geofarming, geofencing. This is where you take a geographical area and you go after it. So now we're going to start. Let's go. I'm going to start first, introduce myself. I'll tell you about what's working for me, and then we can go around the room. John, anything to add before we start?
No, dear. Good start, though. Thank you. Go for it.
Okay. All right. So, hi, everybody. Again, my name is Karen Romero. I've been in the real estate industry since 1997. It's always about staying on top of what is new. What is relevant in today's market, and you always have to be pivoting and changing. So the lead pillar for me, that's what that is helping me. Mine is really geofarming. When I started in the industry, a long time ago, we didn't have the internet, the social media. You had to kind of figure out how you were getting leads. If you weren't getting leads from your broker directly because your office was in a geographical area where people would knock on that door at that office and enter it and ask, which we know is kind of rare these days, unless you're in a really specific niche area. You had to go look for your leads. So what I did is I connected with a realtor that was 20 years my senior, who became my mentor. And she was very heavy into a certain geographical area called Landsbrook in Palm Harbor, which I'm sure most of you know. So I specialized in that area. We did open houses, a lot of open houses. That is a great way, belly to belly, meet people, because off your open house, you want to circle prospect around that house. That's what's working for me. And what I mean by circle prospecting is utilizing tools like Remine, RedX, Land Voice, finding the neighbors around that house that are most likely to sell. And these are all tools that help you do that. You can either call them, but check the do not call list. If I'm doing an open house, I'll send them an invitation to the open house. Hey, your neighbor just listed their home. If you're curious about how this affects your home value, or if you know someone that may want to move to the neighborhood, please send them to the open house, something like that. If another successful tool that I was utilizing is a voice drop, like on a batch, like a big, and excuse me, because I have someone that does this for me, so the terms are like escaping me at the moment. But it's a mass voice drop to the neighborhood, the surrounding areas. And again, this is all based on the cold, making sure that everyone's is not on the do not disturb list, and or do not call list, excuse me. And so what I'll do is I'll record my voice and say, hey, it's Karen Romero. I'm your local real estate agent, or whatever you want to say. If, I'm your neighborhood expert. Hey, just let you know, I'm having an open house at such and such, please drop by. Or if you know anyone looking to move into the neighborhood, would love you to send them my way. If you're working with a realtor, please have your realtor reach out to me. We got this great, house that's coming on the market, because obviously you want to protect the other realtors, and you want to make sure that you're doing everything, not soliciting someone else's customer. Let's see. And then, so the geographical farming, the open houses, the geofencing. And what I mean by geofencing, I do a lot of postcards. I do EDDM. And when I do the EDDM, and obviously this is, times change. So I'm kind of changing my strategy. Now that we have online advertising, my EDDM is now connected with a digital ad online that's going to connect also those people in the geographical area, and it's going to target the people online in the geographical area that are also looking to buy or sell. So those are things that are working out for me, and I will let someone else take over. And raise your hand who wants to share what's working for them, or ask me any questions on what. Yes, John.
Thank you, Karen. Good start. Well, since I just became a realtor again, working, after being a broker for so long, I had a pretty good year, and most of it came from my networking group that I host on Tuesday mornings. My biggest customer came from my mom, who goes to mass every morning, and she's always got my cards in her pocket, and she walks the neighborhood too, and she likes chatting with everybody. So I think, you never know where your future leads are going to come from, but I think the networking group is helpful. I think, don't be afraid to ask our family and friends to keep us in mind, if not for them, for people that they chat with. Who goes to the beauty parlors? My mom. And the nail part, for example, she's always got my information. She pays attention. She's not afraid to be my spokesperson. But I like the networking group because you're helping them with their business, and then you're also they're helping you. So that's what's worked for me.
Thank you, John. So since no one's raising their hand, I'm going to pick on people. Colleen, you are 1 year into the industry, I believe, correct?
Yes, I am, but I've been in the real estate industry since 2006, doing mortgages, title, and now a realtor, which I love. And one of my pillars is my sphere. I always reach out to family, friends, my neighbors next door, and my geo farming in my neighborhood. I live in Woodfield. So I send out monthly postcards to everybody. I have gotten a couple phone calls, and I also advertise in a local magazine.
So what are you doing to put your face in front of the people in your neighborhood? Do they know you?
Some of them do know me. I've walked this neighborhood for 20 years, so they know me as the lady that walks the Jack Russell.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of try to keep that in front of them. And then as I walk, I always stop and talk to all the neighbors, and they all the ones that know me know what I do. So I've had a couple call me and say, hey, so-and-so's moving. And so as a matter of fact, I approached that neighbor and told him I had a buyer. And we talked, and we're still talking now about whether she's going to list or what her plans are.
Wonderful. Is there something that's not working for you that you tried?
I am not a door knocker. I would love to be, but I'm not.
Okay.
And I've also
great.
had success with calling for sale by owners and getting in front of them.
Wonderful.
Karen, may I chime in real quick here?
Absolutely.
Colleen, I think it's brilliant that you're walking. And can I share something? I used to send out cards. And so when the neighbors get this, it says, I'll see you around the neighborhood. So, they're getting the cards every 6 weeks or so, and they're not real estate related. Okay. This little one said, excuse me, do you have any Grey Poupon? It just gets them, they're almost looking forward to the card. And I guarantee when I go over to their home, I'm bringing some Grey Poupon, or whatever the giveaway is for that month. But I think that, with your face, maybe on the back of the card or the front, you and your dog. And so they're going to put 2 and 2 together when they get the card and they see you walking. All right.
I love the fact that you personalize that, John. And can you just share the QR code on the back? Tell
Sure.
us what you're doing with that.
This QR code, and it's simple to do. I'd be glad to help you guys if you don't know how to do this, but you can bring up your website, you right click on it, and it creates a QR code. But what I would suggest, and I'm going to change this out next month, is I'm going to have it's going to be a video of me telling them, hey, hi, thank you for connecting, etc., rather than a QR code to a website. So that's what I'm going to work on next month. I think that'd be much more effective than a QR code taking them to a website, especially when it's on their phone. It's hard to see. Where the video, you can listen to it. It's short and sweet, and I think it'll make an instant connection.
Wonderful. Lana Murphy, can you unmute and just introduce yourself and tell us what's working for you, what's not working, or any challenges that you have?
Sure. My name is Lana Murphy. I'm located in Boca Raton, so the East Coast. And I think Sphere, just talking to my friends, like my hairdresser and stuff like that, just always being on social media, I think is helpful for me. Being on video, just like talking about the pre-approval process and things like that. And then I also do geofarming.
And what's working with your geofarming? Like, how are you doing that?
So I'm doing mailers, and I just had like a really big sale in my neighborhood. So now I'm sort of like, I did a bunch of open houses during like the sale process of the home. So I got to meet like a bunch of neighbors and things like that and get the company's name out there because I also just started my own brokerage in Boca. So it's like that part of it too is just like getting the name of the company out there. So now I'm just like doing mailers, just like further introducing the company, kind of piggybacking off this really big sale that we just had that was like a record-breaking sale in the neighborhood. So just things like that, just trying to get some,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the EDDM 2.0 direct program? If not, you might
No.
want to look into it because
Sure.
it is a way to align the digital ads with your mailing postcard ads.
What's it called?
It's called EDDM 2.0 direct. And I have, and if you need sources, I have sources that do it also.
Yeah, because
So when you do the print, when you do your print mailers with your EDDM or however you want to do it, they create a digital ad that mimics your print ad. So now not only are they getting a physical piece of mailing, they're getting people in the surrounding geographical area. And I'm not sure how they target it because I just started using it. So I'll share more as it pans out. So they're also getting a digital ad to that geographical area.
Okay, so like digital through Facebook, like that kind of digital, Google.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think they put a pixel on it, and there's also a program where people sign up, and you can see your mail before it hits your mailbox.
Okay.
So yeah, and I can share that with you. I'll put my email in the chat. I can share that with you. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I'm using a local printer.
Yeah, they should know. Ask them. Just say,
Yeah.
hey, do you know anyone that does the EDDM Direct 2.0?
Okay, cool.
And they because it is aligned with the printers.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Lisa, thank you for raising your hand.
Hi, so it's not the same person that does the printing and the EDDM. They're not connected?
Well, I did find someone that does it together. Yes.
Because that would be too confusing for me to do two separate. It's too much to think about. I would just want to go to one source and get it done. So maybe you could help me with that later, pick out a geo area. I know we've been talking about it, but I haven't been able to meet up.
Yeah, so it has taken me a while to vet the vendors that I'm using for my EDDM and the Direct 2.0 because I'm very particular, and I don't want it 2 weeks after I order it. So I'll be more than happy to share the people that I'm using with you guys. I just want to try them out first. But yeah, I do have, Lisa, to answer your question, there is a source where they'll do it together. You don't have to go to two separate people. Okay.
One other thing, the what's my home worth? Did you ever figure that out for me? Why I'm not getting emails?
Yes, and I will discuss that with you this week. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Thanks. Jenny, do you want to unmute and introduce yourself and just let us know what type of pillars you are using for your business and what's working, what's not working?
Hi. I've done a lot of like market updates in our community, and I actually go door to door and drop them off. And I know a lot of people in my neighborhoods, looks forward to it and everything. I would say though, this past year though, a lot of the iBuyers have hurt me.
Yeah.
And then referrals, I would say those are my two top.
So tell us a little bit about your area that the iBuyers are purchasing. Like, is it non-deed restricted or
no, it's an HOA CDD community, but the prices of the homes, $300,000-$400,000. So that's perfect for the iBuyers and everything. And unfortunately, they're turning wild to rentals.
Oh boy. Okay. Do you have? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'd say, but it's crazy. A lot of these people are leaving 30 to 50 grand on the table, and sometimes I catch them when they're moving, and start talking to them, because sometimes I don't realize if they're a renter or not. And they don't care that they left 30, 50 grand on the table. They're like, oh, it's just so much easier. And I'm like, okay.
It is challenging, but yeah, definitely challenging. Just I'm going to just interject something real quick. Have you guys noticed that the homeowners associations are starting to limit leasing, or getting tight on the leasing restrictions? My neighborhood, for example, went through an issue in 2008, the financial crisis, where there were a lot of renters not, and the landlord's not really reinforcing the rules. So my neighborhood, you are absolutely not allowed to rent anymore. Not that I'm happy about that. If you're not going to be able to, if you're going to restrict renting in a neighborhood, just have some rules and regulations. Like you have to own it for a year or two or something like that. So is anyone else finding that restrictions as far as leasing? Yeah, Colleen, your neighborhood?
Yep, we just passed where you have to live in it a year before you can rent it out.
Yeah, I think we're going to start seeing that a lot more with all of the corporations purchasing homes across the US. So
I think it's a
Well,
smart idea
yeah.
for I think it's a smart idea so that home ownership can be true home ownership, not corporates owning for renters to be in there.
Yeah, I agree, Cindy. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I agree. I just think like for my neighborhood, like you're absolutely, if I had to go away for 2 years, I can't rent my house. That was the only thing I was a little hesitant about as far as my neighborhood. I love the fact that, yeah, you have to live in it for a year or 2 years. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So this is where we as agents probably need to, if you're in a homeowners association scenario, is make sure that the people understand why it's important that they come to the meetings to voice that. Because if you're in careers that are moving, you don't know, because you don't know if you're coming and going. And some people just don't go to the meetings anymore because they've gotten to the point where I don't care, but they need to start caring.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And I do go to the meetings and try and promote that, So, hey, Cindy, since you interjected here, tell us a little bit about yourself and what lead pillars are working for you.
I am in a brand new market. I was in Tampa Bay for 20 years and I moved to Naples to take care of my mother, and I got COVID. So I ended up moving to Pensacola where my girls are. And it is definitely a different market up here. I am in Lower Alabama, where everything is slower, and to include the MLS. So I put myself on the MLS committee so I can kind of understand the dynamics of how this stuff does and doesn't work up here. I'm understanding from the seasoned agents that our season is beginning up here because of the school moves and that kind of thing occurs up here. And now that I don't have children to be accountable to, I think I'm going to do the being in Pensacola for the summer move season and go to my mother's, and because we moved her to a facility, so her villa is vacant, and be at my mother's during the northern season because they had a crazy busy year. I sold my first $1 million house cash. And I wasn't working. I was just there with something to do while I was taking with mom, and had a killer year. So
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of going to be this year's look and see what that happens to pull out. But I do open houses to get the buyers here where I'm at. And I do once a month online first time home buyer webinars because it's a demographically challenged area in that they don't know that this $1,500 rent they could really buy, because there are 250 price points up here.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a great plan. So you're going to be able to sell, or your plan is to sell in Naples and Pensacola, wherever you are at the time.
Yes, because I'm with a brokerage, I don't have to change and look for a new brokerage. I can just kind of go where my car takes me. And I also picked up a license in Alabama. So that's a whole learning curve because they don't have due diligence over there. There's no seller's required disclosure. So it's buyer beware.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Okay. That's awesome. So Jim, welcome. Thank you. Open up your mic and tell us a little about yourself and what lead pillars you're utilizing. I know you just relocated, I believe.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. I'm learning so much being here. My wife and I are a team. So primarily, we started like early 2000. We moved from New York. We sold an apartment in New York and made a ton of money. And we're like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. So we started flipping homes and doing all that stuff. And my wife's like, let's just get the license. So she got her license, and then shortly after that, she was pregnant with our second daughter. So I'm like, okay, that's my fault. I have to go out get the license now. So I got my license, and we're both in the business, but mainly we were doing a lot of investments and flipping and did everything. So we built our reputation that way. But at the beginning, we also knocked on doors and just getting going. But we never really did anything else as far as mailers or anything else. But because of our reputation as flippers and working with investors, our investor would buy several houses a week, and some of them, 3 or 4 a month. So that pipeline was so busy for us, we didn't do anything else. Fast forward into today, we've sold our portfolio in New Jersey and we moved here. We're brand new in this market.
And here meaning where's here?
Florida.
Florida, okay.
Yeah, Palm Harbor. So now we are exploring all this other possibilities, how to get ourselves out there. So I just want to have a big question right now, and I think it's like an elephant in the room. Everybody, I'm sure, crossing their minds, okay, we've heard all of this before, but how much does it cost? Time and money to actually execute all these moves. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, how much is going to cost to do? We actually did a CRM company called Elevate. It was like $1,800 to start, and then every month it was like another $400, and they built the website for you, and they do Google click, pay-per-click, and all this stuff. That does not turn out well. It's just a bunch of crap. Horrible. I mean, I have no problem cold calling people. So every morning I wake up, there'll be like leads, quote unquote leads. They're like bad numbers, people who don't want to talk to you. I'm like, give me some good leads. I turn it into something. But that we've done so far, that does not work. What's working with me now here is actually, like John said, networking. So I'm part of a network group, and that kind of go through the people's people. So the people in the network group, they already own houses, but they know somebody who's looking or who is moving and all that stuff. So it's like for like 2 or 3 steps away from them. That works well. And like hosting party is our house. So we don't know anyone. So we like when Rachel's birthday, we invited 50 people, and we just had a DJ and had a good time. I know it costs a lot of money, but it was a celebration anyways. So in that, we started to know title people, mortgage people, other real estate professionals, and that kind of like got us into the community, so to speak.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's a little challenging. Go ahead, John. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in real quick, Jim. First, I think networking you're right on. I think the party idea is a great idea. And I want to go back to the leasing restrictions thing we brought up. Unfortunately, and you guys know this because you're all professionals, you've been here for a while. A lot of the information on MLS is inaccurate. If you're looking for a home that there are certain leasing restrictions that should be input in there. A lot of times the agents don't put it in there. I mean, they're basically putting in there, call the HOA. It's like, well, that doesn't help. So verify yourself with the property managers for what the leasing restrictions are for a certain area, if they can be leased or not, what the time frame is, etc. So I'm not against them restricting rentals. But when you're working with investors who are looking for it, you need to know those things. And anyways, to chime in with what Jim was saying about meeting people, Khaled came to my open house, sharp young kid from my hometown, which we didn't know when we first met at my open house 2 weeks ago. But I thought that was a brilliant move, what you did. He came to my open house. He brought me a Frappuccino and some snacks just to say hello. Never met him before. I thought that was brilliant. And I heard that you did that for one of my colleagues too. So well done, young man.
I did. I don't want you to not feel that you're special, because you are, but I did bring it to some other people as well. Can I just jump off of that with Jim was talking about like the networking working really well. And I actually do a small networking event for kind of investors. And with your background, Jim, I would love for you to join us because there's lots of investors who are looking to buy their first home, their first rental, or the house hack, which is, live in half of a duplex. And when I was, I used to actually be an agent up in Buffalo. And when I was an agent, my 99% of my clients were investors, because the whole reason I got into it was, as when I was looking for a house to buy and rent, I couldn't find any agent that really understood what I was looking for. So I became an agent, and then through my networking and my circle was all investors, and then they started coming to me because I had that specialty. So with your background, I think, Jim, you would have a great niche of investors, and possibly, come join me in my little networking group. And I just wanted to point out real quick, you were talking about, how much does this all cost? That's like the first thing I always think about as well when I hear, EDDMs and such, which I did do before, and I got some calls off of them when I was doing it as an agent. But I also partnered with a lender up there, and that's something as a lender down here in Florida, I would be willing to do as well. And so you can always I think you could find people who'd be willing to split costs with you on things like that. For instance, if you have a loan officer, such as myself, who that you might like to work with, they would probably, split a cost with you to target, the neighborhood of your recent sale.
So Khalid,
ahead,
what, just what, because we didn't really introduce you, and I've never met you. Hello. So just kind of tell us, where you write loans, because we're, the goal of this mastermind is to have people from all over and refer business back and forth. I see that Cindy in the chat, keep track of the chat, people, because this is for us to develop relationships and refer business, with Cindy in Pensacola. I don't know anyone up in Pensacola, so now we got a connection, so Khalid, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm a loan officer. I am located in Tampa, Florida. However, we write all of Florida. And I am in this chat because I met John at an open house, and then I met some of his other teammates. And I saw that on this Facebook, he had mentioned a Mastermind Monday. And, I'm always about meeting new people. And I knew that I know it's all geared towards all agents here, but as you mentioned in the beginning, answering questions, and particularly on the lending side, if you have any questions like that, I would love to try to answer them for you. But at the same time, I'm also here to learn, because I know there's a lot of things that apply both to the real estate sales side as well as the mortgage side. And so I decided to jump in and see what I can learn, and also, see how I could add to this. Because my number one way to build business as well is relationships and meeting people. And that's why I stop by open houses every Saturday.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay, so who haven't we heard from? Jessica, do you want to?
Lee, can you put your information in the chat box real quick, please?
Absolutely, and thanks for sharing yours, Jim.
Jessica, who's on iPhone? Is that, all I see is iPhone. I think is that Richard maybe? Hey, Richard, well, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what is working for you as far as your lead pillars?
I'm basically new to the industry, so I'm just listening, trying to learn.
Awesome. Go ahead.
I'm open to all suggestions.
Okay, well, tell us where you are, just in case that we have a referral business for you there, because we want everyone to get to know each other.
I live in Sanibel, so right next to Fort Myers. So, I'm willing to work from Marco Island all the way to Sarasota. So
All right. Awesome. And you came here from, so you just relocated to Florida, correct?
well, no, I've been in Florida all my life. We used to live in Fort Lauderdale, so we built a house here. Been here about 4 years. in
Gotcha.
Santa-
Okay.
I just did
So,
real
so
estate,
new,
What did you do before? You're doing-
investment advisor, still doing that. Hopefully, real estate will take over and I can retire once and for all. Tired of chasing people for money.
and how are you getting leads now? Are you, or do you have some
I'm not.
lead pillars that are working?
I'm with Remax and they haven't done anything for me except take my money. So I'm looking for a new home.
Well, we're just trying to, you know.
Karen, may I
we'll-
interrupt? You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
Richard, what did were you a financial advisor?
Yes.
So I'm assuming you've got a database of past customers.
No.
You don't.
No.
Not in your financial advisor role.
No. I sold it. About to touch it, and I'm not.
Okay, well, never mind. I mean, because see, to me, as an investor, a financial investor advisor, I mean, real estate is a perfect asset. You know, besides stocks and bonds, you could have real estate as well. So, well, disregard. but the whole idea is your future business is going to come from people that you know. All right. So, wherever your neighbors, your HOA here and on the other coast, that's who you need to be reaching out to. You know, I'm sure most of us here, if we look back at our business over the last year or 20 years, a majority came from people that we knew or referrals from those people we knew. So never lose track of that. I saw an interesting stat, Karen, last night. I watch a lot of YouTube, video YouTube type stuff. 91% of realtors do not stay in contact with their past customers. And that's why your customers want to use you. Stay in contact with your past customers. They're going to be your number one referral source in the future. I'll shut up.
No, it's good advice. Good advice. Crystal, we didn't hear from you yet. You want to tell us what I know you're newer in the industry, you know, but obviously you've had success with door knocking, I believe.
Yeah, so my name is Crystal Pentai. I'm with the Dream Girls team of EXP. So I am new to the industry, so I've been just trying to gather, my sphere. And so far I've been doing open houses, Facebook. I did get your Remind email, so I logged in there and I actually typed up a letter that I'm mailing out today. It also has my QR code. So I'm gonna be mailing some letters, and then door knocking. Yeah, I targeted the for sale by owners, expired leads, withdrawal. And I mean, it's, building up my contact list is what my goal is now.
Mm-hmm. Where are you getting the for sale by owner and expired leads from?
Yeah, the Red X.
Red X. So you purchase. So that is so you purchase that. Do you find that it's accurate?
Yeah, I like Red X. Yeah.
Awesome.
We had, drove up there personally with some little welcome goodie bags just to get our name out there. We put some like calendar magnets, our business cards, some little peppermints and stuff in there. And we actually got to face talk to most of these withdrawn or expired leads. And, at least they have our contact info and we're following up with phone calls, but a lot of them are on the do not call list. So that's
So
why
how do you get around that?
that's why we went up to the door. We have little
Yeah.
door hangers if they don't answer. So
And what area are you in?
I'm in Spring Hill. I do Brooksville, Spring Hill, all the way down to Pasco and Pinellas. So
And how are people receiving you door knocking? Because I know a lot of people can't do it. You know, that's a
you know, a lot of people are, you know, in the yard doing yard work or sitting out on their porch enjoying the day. And, you know, we're friendly and there's two of us, so it's not as, you know, awkward. Me and Jennifer just strike up a conversation. You know, a lot of people aren't looking to sell, but at least they could know somebody. So we give them a few business cards to pass out to their friends. And
awesome. That's great.
yeah.
So who haven't, Jatna, do you want to unmute and introduce yourself and tell us what lead pillars you're working on or what's working for you?
Hello. Hi there. Can you see me?
No, we can hear you though.
Oh.
It's a little blurry.
Oh, I have my little sticky note.
Oh, there you are.
My camera.
We see you, we see you now.
I'm mostly listening because my nanny's on vacation, so I'm feeding my twins. But I do have a few listings coming up, and one of them is from my brother. You know, just reaching out to family. He's doing his first fix and flip, and then the other property we purchased ourselves.
Show us your twins.
Oh.
Oh
adorable.
Oh, cute.
Amelia and Valentina.
So single moms juggling real estate.
Well, my husband is out of the country because we have a little call center. So we are like I buy houses. So we just have like a little VA, like a little call center in the Dominican Republic, and then we target the entire state of Florida. So he's over there now supporting the guys, but like mostly on the retail side of things, I haven't really done much yet. But right now, what I'm planning on doing is just targeting to investors, and so that I can like list their houses for them as well as guide them with their fix and flip projects, because that's the area that I actually like, the flipping side of it.
That's what you're focusing on.
Like my brother, he's flipping a house, and I'm giving him like the design ideas, you know, the color of the house, the staging, everything. He's just getting my ideas and then implementing them. So,
and how challenging is that market right now? Because obviously there's, you know, our market's tight and there's a lot of competition in that arena.
With the iBuy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a little bit challenging, but we got a lot of leads. We have thousands of leads that we purchase. We also have a dialer. We do SMS campaigns. And we mostly disposition them to hedge funds that are buying from out of state, like from Texas, California. So they're mostly done off market.
Okay. So you're generating enough leads that your conversion is significant.
Yes. Plus we have our employees in the Dominican Republic. You know, we pay them $4 or $5 an hour. You know, so it's not it's not as much compared to what employees cost here. So it's more cost effective.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
They're crying over here. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll mute you. Jessica, do you want to? Are you there, Jess?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Hello.
So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're selling, and what type of lead pillars are working for you, and what's not working?
I'm in Sarasota, Siesta Key area, but I can do anything like Venice, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton. I try to stick around my area, you know. It's the area I know. What was the other?
Well, just like, what lead do you have lead sources that you find are, you know, what lead sources, like what lead pillars are you using to get leads in business? Like, what do you find working for you?
I haven't really I haven't been doing much lately, so I don't know.
Okay, so we need to work on that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Before
anyone
I was
have,
with Coldwell Banker, where the people would walk into our office because we are on Siesta Key. So we one of the unique offices where people actually did walk in. So
yeah, and
that
that's what
was
I find
easier.
if you're in that niche, if you're like in a niche storefront, I think you get more, that's like a seasonal, you probably get more walk-in traffic. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm still
Um,
adjusting to not having that.
Yeah. So anyone have any suggestions for Jessica on how to adjust from having walk-in business to where to get leads? Lisa. Well, unmute.
Could you rent like a storefront seasonally down there? This way you get people there like a 6-month lease and set up your own little thing.
And Siesta Key would be insane. Like you'd have to, yeah, it'd be way too costly, I think.
It was just an idea. I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
would be worth,
yeah. I mean, I joined the Chamber of Commerce and I go to events, stuff like that, but to have a actual storefront in Siesta Key would be ungodly expensive.
just a thought.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
if you did that with another agent that you're, with the same company, and you guys could do something like that, even if it's only seasonal.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Just
there
to-
is an EXP location.
I wonder if there's a way to align. What if you look for lenders or title companies that may have storefronts or a vendor to align with? That might be a
there's an idea.
possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a possibility. I would go to the locations where the walk-in traffic is prevalent, or where you perceive it to be prevalent, and just check out the businesses that are there and see if there's someone that you can align with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Hey, Karen, how about this? How about
Yeah.
how many of those storefronts are not open on the weekend? Okay. Let's face it, when we're walking down these how many businesses are closed on the weekend? Okay, reach out to that owner, say, hey, can I use your storefront? Just sit out front here, on Saturday and Sunday, and just to share information about the area. I mean, they might do it for nothing or very little, rather than renting the space for 6 months or a year where you're paying utilities, etc. That might be an option. I like Karen's idea as well of existing lenders that are already there, or someone who it makes sense to align with a realtor, whatever it might be. But that might be a good idea, Jess, if in an area that has walk-in traffic, okay? But I think the key is still to reach out to people that you know.
Jim.
In my networking group recently, they're trying to build out West Pensacola. So I'm in a group that's trying to build West Pensacola. And there's a lady, has nothing to do with real estate, but she wants everybody that's in the networking group to have their cards at her business. So it's worth sitting with a one-on-one with those kinds of people, like you said, with the storefront people, to just kind of get that development going. Because if it's a designer that's not open on the weekend, hello, that's a match.
I love that idea.
So Jessica, when you have walk-ins, are those people local or are they from somewhere else on their vacation or something?
Mostly vacationers that realize that they love it and either like maybe want an investment property or want to move there after, if it's a bad winter back home, they're realizing how nice it is down here. And
how about a digital storefront? Try to do I used to be in the restaurant business for 14 years, and I see a big move from brick and mortar into a digital storefront where you can create this whole persona online. And before, my wife and I travel as well, and we love hunting for real estate and stuff like that. The first thing we do, we get online and we look at local experts and people are in the area. And maybe that is one way to go with that as well, and say, hey, you know what? and then they can find you there, and you can certainly meet them for answers or anything like that. We did that in Thailand, believe it or not. We're like, oh, we want to check out this whole area, and we went online. We found a local person who knows the area, and he happened to be a realtor and a guide, and then took us around town. And if we wanted to buy something, we would definitely go with that guy. He knows everything about Thailand. He knows every pocket, every restaurants and all that stuff. So, I mean, we weren't in the market to buy. We're just curious. But I think it sounds like these people are like that too. They're like, oh, this here is great. Let's see what the real estate's is like. Then you can just do like, you know, a guide / real estate agent. I think you would make a killing. You don't need a storefront.
Now, how do you make, like, I guess when you say digital storefront,
Create a website that has it, you know, a digital front, and I guess you might have to pay Google or, you know, these search engines that put you in the front page where they're looking for your area and / real estate, or, you know, those kind of things. Your website pops up right away, and you have a way to contact them somehow. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a
So you're
technical guy, but
So you're saying through a digital storefront online, not
Right,
in
online.
not like a TV in someone's storefront.
right.
Right. Gotcha.
Because most people search online first before they even walk out. So,
Yeah. Well, we're approaching the top of the hour, guys. You know, this was our first session, and it's exciting. I hope someone found some nuggets. You know, we promise we will get better as we continue to do the masterminds and explore topics that everyone wants to hear about. Please feel free to email myself or John, or reach out to us if there are topics that you want to dive into, like take a deep dive into. Okay, because we really appreciate you being here. We appreciate your time, and you know, just want to help everyone grow. Any last thoughts or comments? Speak now.
Good start, Karen. Well done. Yeah. And I think it's great that we got people all over the state here sharing ideas, and look, we can all help each other grow just by sharing what works, what doesn't work, asking for help, etc. And if there's any topics that you'd like to cover in the future, let me know, let Karen know, again, as she mentioned, and we will be glad to accommodate. But every week there'll be something different that we'll chat about, and then we can open it up for discussion. All right.
and would you guys create like a page on workspace or something like that, so we can all get
yeah, so we have on Facebook, Collaboration Cafe. If you're not a part of Collaboration Cafe, we will make sure everyone here is invited to our Collaboration Cafe Facebook group. Okay, and that's where we are going to post all of our links to the Zooms that we're doing, and you know, just share things, referrals, share ideas, whatever. It's your space, and that's why we've created it.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice meeting you all.
thank you.
Bye, thank you.